Good morning and welcome to the Mobile Device Manager Plus training program. Given the current work from home scenario, I'm conducting this webinar from my home and would request you to excuse any background noises or network connectivity issues that we might face during the course of this session. Let me start off by introducing myself. I am Harshita Sharma, a product specialist at Mobile Device Manager Plus, and I will be your trainer for today. This is a 3-week training program that helps us understand the various features and capabilities of Mobile Device Manager Plus. And we are in week 3, which is dedicated towards the modern management of Windows 10 and Mac devices. In case you're looking for the legacy management of these devices, I would recommend you to give Desktop Central a try. In the last 2 weeks, we had shown you the different enrollment methods that are available for bringing devices under our management and how you can provision them to ensure they're ready to access corporate data. We also showed you the different methods that are available for silently installing, uninstalling, and updating both store and enterprise applications on your mobile devices. We also showed you the various features that are available for ensuring data and device security. In case you missed any of these training sessions, you can view a recording of the same using the link given below the table. Let's start off with the training agenda for today. We will start off with the overview of Mobile Device Manager Plus, where I will give you a brief introduction about the product, its architecture, and the ports that are required for communication. We will then move on to onboarding Windows 10 laptops and Mac for management. No matter how heavily an organization relies on mobile devices, there will always be a need for laptops and desktops. And that is why Mobile Device Manager Plus provides a unified console for managing all of these devices. I will show you the automated enrollment methods available for enrolling your Windows 10 and Mac devices into Mobile Device Manager Plus. We will then move on to deploying corporate configurations. To ensure that the devices are ready to access your corporate data, we will first start off with configuring the basic device settings such as Wi-Fi, VPN, and email that are required for accessing your corporate data. We will then move on to configuring additional security settings to ensure corporate data and device security. We will then move on to managing apps and content. Just like how Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to distribute apps and content to mobile devices, you can do the same onto your Windows 10 laptops and Mac devices as well. So I will show you how you can install apps on both Mac and Windows devices without any user intervention. I will also show you how Mobile Device Manager Plus securely distributes content to these devices. We will end the session with a few scenarios and their solutions. In case during the course of this session, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to post it on chat. We have an expert panel waiting to answer your queries. So let's start off with the overview of Mobile Device Manager Plus. This section is important for those of you who are not very familiar with the product. Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to manage mobile devices and tablets running on iOS, Android, and Windows operating systems. In case of Apple, it also allows you to manage Mac devices and Apple TVs. In case of Windows, it allows you to manage Windows 10 laptops and desktops and Surface Hubs as well. Mobile Device Manager Plus is one of the few MDM solutions in the market that supports Chromebooks as well. Mobile Device Manager Plus is available as an add-on to Desktop Central, our flagship unified endpoint management solution. In case your organization is looking only to manage your mobile devices and the modern management capabilities for Windows 10 and Mac devices, I recommend you to give the standalone Mobile Device Manager Plus a try. If we have any MSPs in our audience today, you should try Mobile Device Manager Plus MSP. This has all the features of Mobile Device Manager Plus, along with a few MSP specific features such as customer segmentation and a multi-tenant architecture. All of these products are available both on premises and on cloud. We understand that Mobile Device Manager Plus needs to work closely with other applications that are used in an enterprise. And that is why we integrate with a lot of them, such as your help desk solutions. We extensively integrate with our in-house help desk solution, Service Desk Plus, and other third-party solutions such as Spiceworks, Jira Service Desk, Zendesk Support, and ServiceNow. Mobile Device Manager Plus also integrates with other business process automation tools such as Zoho CRM and Zoho Creator. In case you're looking to integrate Mobile Device Manager Plus with any other application of your choosing, you can use the publicly available APIs by accessing the link given here. Now it's time to take a look at the architecture. The Mobile Device Manager Plus architecture consists of three main components: the MDM server, the notification services, and the devices to be managed. The MDM server uses these notification services like APNS, FCM, and WNS to wake these devices. These devices then contact the MDM server for any information and tasks to be performed. Now, we all know that these devices are not going to be in our network at all times, and that is why we need to ensure that the MDM server is reachable from anywhere. For this, you will have to NAT your internal IP address to a public IP address. But this might raise a few security concerns in organizations, and that is why we optionally allow you to configure a secure gateway. This acts as an intermediary between the devices and the MDM server and routes all the communication through it. Now, if you're using the cloud version of Mobile Device Manager Plus, you do not need to worry about any of these settings. Mobile Device Manager Plus also integrates with other directory services such as Active Directory, Okta, and G Suite to simplify user assignment and authentication. Now, as we saw in the previous slide, there is a lot of communication involved in managing these devices. Now, this communication is facilitated by opening a few ports, such as for communication between the devices and the Mobile Device Manager Plus server, the secure HTTP port 9383 needs to be opened. Similarly, here's a list of other essential ports that need to be opened for managing these devices. For a complete list of ports required for management, you can access the link given below the table. Now, one question that might arise in your mind is how exactly does MDM manage these devices? So in the case of iOS, Windows, and Chrome OS, we leverage the native MDM client already present on these devices. Whereas in the case of Android devices, we will have to install an MEMDM app onto these devices to be managed. So once the app has been installed, the devices automatically come under our management. So now that we are familiar with how MDM functions, we can move on to the first segment of today, which is onboarding Windows 10 laptops. So mobility has definitely restructured the way organizations function. But no matter how heavily an organization relies on mobile devices, there will always be a need for laptops and desktops. And that is why Mobile Device Manager Plus provides a unified console for managing these devices. And the first step towards management is enrolling these devices, for which we support the Windows Autopilot enrollment. This is a completely automated enrollment method that allows you to onboard devices with minimal admin and user intervention. This method is pretty similar to the Apple Business Manager method available for enrolling your Apple devices. So before we get into the steps, let me show you the overall workflow. The first step is to integrate your MDM server with Microsoft Azure. Next, once the integration process is completed, you will have to add the devices to the Business Store portal. And because of the integration, the devices get automatically added into your server. Once that is done, all you need to do is distribute and activate the devices. And upon activation, the devices get registered with MDM. There are a few prerequisites that need to be met before we can use the autopilot enrollment method for enrolling your Windows 10 devices. The first is we need to upload a third-party certificate to be added to MDM. This certificate is required for securing the communication. Next, we need to create an Azure Administrator account. This is because we leverage Microsoft Azure for enrolling these devices. We also need to purchase adequate Azure user licenses based on the number of users whose devices are to be managed. Once these prerequisites are met, we can use the autopilot enrollment for managing our devices. Let me show you how you can first start off with the integration process, for which we need to navigate onto our console and click on the Enrollment tab, and then navigate to Azure Enrollment. So as you can see here, the server is not currently integrated with the Azure portal. And to initiate the integration process, the first thing that I need to do is I need to copy these three URLs. That is the MDM terms of use URL, the discovery URL, and the app ID URI. All of these three URLs need to be pasted on your corporate Azure portal. So to do that, let us navigate back onto the Azure portal and log in using your credentials. Here, we need to click on Azure Active Directory from the leftmost pane, and then click on Mobility, MDM, and MAM. After which, I will have an option to add application. So here, we will be authorizing Mobile Device Manager Plus as the solution for managing all of my enterprise's devices. Now, the steps for this authorization differs in the case of on-premises and cloud versions. I will show you both the methods, but let me start off with the on-premises option first. So once you click on Add Application, you will have to search for on-premises MDM application. Once you do that, you can click on Add. Once this app has been added, we will have to repeat the navigation process by following Azure Active Directory, Mobility, MDM, and MAM. And as you can see here, the on-premises MDM application will be listed. Now I need to click on it, after which I will be shown the configuration steps that need to be performed. So the first is defining the MDM user scope. Here, I will let the Azure portal know the users whose devices are to be managed using Mobile Device Manager Plus. Here, I can choose between none, some, and all. So in my case, since I will be managing all of my devices using Mobile Device Manager Plus, I have selected all as the option. Now, as you can see here, now I need to enter the MDM terms of use URL, the discovery URL that was available on our MDM server. After you have pasted it, there was an additional URL available called the app ID URI. So let me show you where you can go and add that. So to do that, you will have to click on the on-premises MDM application settings. Once you click on that, you will have to click on Expose an API, where you will have a field called Application ID URI. This is where you will have to paste the app ID URI available on the MDM server. Once you do that, you can go back to the previous step by clicking on the Configure from this top band. Once you do that, click on Save to save the settings and complete the integration process with Mobile Device Manager Plus on-premises version. Now, it's time to take a look at the steps for integrating MDM Cloud. So the process is pretty similar with just two differences. First, instead of searching for the on-premises MDM application, you will have to search for Manage Engine MDM. Once you do that, you can click on Add to add this particular application. You can access it by navigating from Azure Active Directory, Mobility, MDM, and MAM, and then selecting the application available right here. Once you do that, it will reveal the configuration steps. The first here as well is defining the MDM user scope. You will also have to copy the terms of use URL and discovery URL. As you can see here, there is no need to enter the app ID URI. So once all the three steps are performed, you can click on Save to complete the integration process for MDM Cloud. So now that the integration process is completed, the next step is to add the devices into my Business Store portal, for which I will log into the Business Store using my credentials. So as you can see here, I will have to click on Manage and then Devices. On this view, I will be performing two major steps. One is I will be creating a new deployment profile where I will specify the steps that need to be skipped during activation. So to do that, I will first have to click on the autopilot deployment option and click on create new profile. Once I do that, I will have to provide a name to this deployment profile that I'm creating. And here I will also have a list of all the setup steps that can be skipped. So as you can see here, by default, you can skip the Cortana, OneDrive, and OEM registration setup steps. You can also skip your privacy settings and end user license agreement steps as well by enabling this option here. In case these devices are to be handed over to contract employees and you do not want them to create any admin account on these devices, you can enable this option as well. Once this is done, click on create to create this new autopilot deployment profile. Once this is done, we can now start off by adding the devices. So to do that, I will again have to navigate to devices and click on the option add devices. Once I do that, so when you purchase any device from authorized resellers, you will receive a CSV file containing a list of all the devices that you have purchased. So this CSV file has to be uploaded onto your Microsoft Store for Business. So once you click on add devices, you will also have to create an autopilot deployment group, which will contain all the devices that are available in that CSV. So once you click on add, all of these devices will get added into your Microsoft Store for Business. And once that is done, you can click on refresh my list to complete the process. So the CSV file that I had uploaded had only one device, which has been added successfully into my portal. Now the next step is to associate the autopilot deployment profile that I had created to skip my initial setup steps. So to do that, I will have to select the option right here. So in case you have multiple devices that get added once you upload the CSV file, you can click on this button to select all of them. Once this is done, click on the autopilot deployment option and select the button apply manage engine MDM profile. Once you do that, as you can see here, the profile has been successfully applied to these devices that were added from my CSV file. This completes the enrollment process using the autopilot enrollment method. Now Mobile Device Manager Plus has split the onboarding process into two parts. One is the enrollment process, which I had just shown you. The other is the user assignment process. The reason for splitting these as two steps is because in case your organization purchases these devices in bulk, you can complete the enrollment process beforehand and then assign the users when you're distributing the devices to them as per your need. So let me show you how you can perform the user assignment process. So to do that, you will navigate back onto your console where under the Azure enrollment option, all of the devices that you had recently enrolled will be listed. So since I enrolled only one device right now, that has been listed right here. So to assign a user, I will have to click on the assign user option under action. Once I do that, you can choose whether you want the same user as available on the Azure portal to be assigned to this device, or if you want to associate a new user. So if you select new user, you can enter the user details required. You can optionally also assign the devices to the required groups. The benefit of this is that once a new device has been added to the group, all the required profiles, applications, and content will get automatically distributed to this device. You can also modify the device name for management purposes. So once you click on assign, the device will get assigned to the specified user. One question that you might have in your mind now is that in case I have multiple devices available in this view, would it mean that I have to enroll all of them individually? That is not the case. Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to assign all of your users in bulk as well. So to do that, you will have to click on the Assign Users option right here. Here, you can download a CSV file containing a list of all the devices that are available in this particular view. Once that is done, you can go ahead, make the required changes such as entering your username and email address to the respective devices and upload the CSV file. Once the file has been uploaded and you click on assign, all of the devices will get assigned to the respective users that we had specified, and we'll move to the devices tab available right here. So this completes the enrollment process for Windows 10 devices. Now let's take a look at how you can enroll Mac devices using Apple Business Manager. So the enrollment process for Mac devices is pretty similar to enrolling iOS devices using Apple Business Manager. So let us review the enrollment workflow. The first step is to integrate your Apple Business Manager portal with the MDM server. Once you do that, all you need to do is add the devices to your ABM portal, and because of the integration, the devices will get added into your MDM server immediately. And upon activation, the devices get registered with MDM. So as you can see here, the process is pretty similar for integrating and adding your devices to the portal. This is covered in the first session, so I will not be continuing this in greater detail. But if you have any questions in this particular topic, or if you want to go through it in greater detail, please let us know in chat. We will schedule a personalized demo at a time of your convenience. But there are a few Mac specific device activation settings that can be configured. Activation settings are. So I'm just going to navigate back onto my console, and here is where I will configure the device activation settings. So as you can see here under the setup assistant, I have navigated that can be skipped while activating the device. So as you can see here, you can skip your file vault, iCloud diagnostics, iCloud storage, and to skip all of these steps or the ones that are required based on your organization. Also, another interesting setting that can be configured is the Mac account settings, using which you can automatically create an admin account on these devices once it has been activated by your users. So to do that, all you need to do is enter the full name, the account name, and password. Once you add all of this information, the account will get automatically created on these devices. Now, there are a few optional settings that can also be configured. First is the hide this account option, where you can hide this account on the device and ensure that the users are not aware of this admin account being present on their devices. Also, you can prevent users from creating any additional accounts during activation. This is important in case you're handing these devices over to contract employees. But in case you are okay with them creating new accounts for their benefit, what you can do is you can control the account type that has been created. So in case you do not want them creating an admin account, you can select the standard account option, where only the basic required privileges will be available. So once you make the required changes, you can click on Save to associate this device activation settings. So now it's time to take a look at deploying basic configurations. Mobile Device Manager Plus supports various configurations to ensure that the corporate data is secure on the devices and easily accessible as well. So in the case of Windows 10 laptops, we support basic settings such as Wi-Fi, VPN, and email. We also have various security hardening restrictions that ensure corporate data security. Also, we have a feature that allows you to lock down devices to a single app or a set of application based on your organization's requirement. So I will show you all of these settings now. So for that, I will have to navigate back onto my console and click on the Device Management tab. Here, I will be navigating to the Profiles view and creating a new Windows profile. So to do that, I will have to click on Create Profile and click on Windows. Provide a meaningful name to my profile right here. So once I do that, I can click on Continue. So the basic defense mechanism for any device is setting a stringent passcode. So as the first line of defense, let me set up a stringent password for my devices. I have to configure the minimum passcode length to ensure that the password users set is longer than the number that has been specified. I can also specify the minimum passcode age. This way, the user's password will expire after the specified number of days. So prompted to reset their password. Also, I can specify the maximum idle time before or idle for some time, it will get locked automatically. I can also configure the number of passcodes to be maintained in history. This way, the user will not be able to use the same password multiple times. So now since I have set it as 3, the user will not be able to use the previous 3 passwords again. I can also choose to configure the maximum number of failed attempts. This is a very interesting configuration. What this does is based on the number specified in case so for example, if I specify 5 here and the user enters the password incorrectly 5 times, the device gets factory reset. So Mobile Device Manager Plus also allows you to configure Hello Pin settings by blocking insecure pins and allowing you to configure the pin complexity, where you can select between digits only, digits in lowercase, and digits lowercase and uppercase. So this is the most stringent option, and that is the one that we recommend to our customers. So once you've made the required changes, you can click on Save. So now we need to go to the Wi-Fi section right here. So to configure a Wi-Fi, all you need to do is enter the Wi-Fi SSID. So here I'm specifying my organization's corporate Wi-Fi network. And here I also have an option to connect to this Wi-Fi automatically. Doing this will ensure once the device is in the vicinity of this particular Wi-Fi, it will get automatically connected to it. I can also configure the security type. So in this option, I'm setting it up as WPA2 PSK, where I will have to specify a password for authentication purposes. Here, while configuring this profile, if I specify the password, what will happen is once the device is in its vicinity, it will get automatically connected to the Wi-Fi since I have enable the option connect to this Wi-Fi automatically, because the MDM server itself will provide the required authentication password and not prompt the user to enter this password. The major benefit of doing this is you do not have to expose your corporate passwords to your employees and run the risk of them sharing it with unauthorized users. You can optionally configure proxy settings for safe. And as you can see here, you can add another Wi-Fi configuration as well. This particular option is important so that in case this particular device is unreachable or is down, the device will automatically get connected to the other Wi-Fi that you have configured. This way, you can ensure that the device always stays in your management. The next option that we will be configuring is the VPN. So as we are all working remotely, we know the importance of securing your corporate network using a VPN. So this is how you can configure it using Mobile Device Manager Plus. So Mobile Device Manager Plus supports the following inbuilt and third-party VPN connections. In case your organization uses a different VPN, you can register your interest by clicking on this link right here. After which you will have to provide the server name and IP address. Doing so will complete the integration process. Now, when you configure this particular Wi-Fi, it gets created for your entire device, which means even your personal application or personal browsing experience will get routed through this particular VPN, which will have a negative impact on your bandwidth. So instead, what you can do is you can configure a per app VPN. Doing so will ensure that only the applications that you have specified here will have access to the VPN that is being configured. So in here, you can provide your corporate applications. And once you do that, you can optionally configure proxy settings as well. Now, let us see how we can configure Exchange Active Sync. So Exchange is the most commonly used email client for corporate purposes. So Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to configure both Exchange Online as well as Exchange on premises for your users' devices. So in case you select Exchange Online, the Exchange server details get automatically pre-filled. One thing that you might have in your mind is that an Exchange account or an email account is user specific. So does that mean I'll have to create separate configurations for all of my users? That is not the case. Mobile Device Manager Plus makes use of something called the dynamic variables. These dynamic variables fetch the required information from the enrollment request that has been sent. So based on it, it will enter the username and the required details. This way you can use the same profile for all of your organization's employees. You can also configure various advanced settings as well, where how often you want to sync your emails and how often you want to sync your calendar information as well. So you can sync your calendar, contacts, and tasks based on the time that has been specified here. So the next method of authentication in a lot of organizations allows you to configure both trust and client certificates using Mobile Device Manager Plus. So for managing your trust certificate, all you need to do is upload the certificate file onto your. To do that, you can click on Add Certificate and add the new certificate file right here. You can also optionally secure it using a password. Since I already have a few certificates uploaded, I will select that. And as you can see here, you will be able to see this required certificate details as well. Once you click on Save, the certificate will get saved and can be distributed to your devices. But when it comes to client certificates, Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to integrate with the SCEP Certificate Authority as well as the DigiCert Certificate Authority to distribute your client specific certificates. So once you have integrated either your SCEP Certificate Authority or your DigiCert Authority, all you need to do is create a new SCEP template. So once you click on Add Template, you can create a new template based on which your client certificates will be generated by the Certificate Authority and distributed to your devices. So as you can see here, these are the various options that you can configure for your template. And once you have created the template, you will have to add it to your profile. So here I'm selecting the configuration, and these are the details of my template available. It simplifies both configuration of your mobile devices is your custom configuration profile. This allows you to create customized policies that are currently not supported using MDM. So all you need to do here is using the configuration service provider by Microsoft, or you need to fetch the information about the OMA URI, the data type, operation, and values. Once that is done, you can save this configuration and add it. Another benefit of using custom configuration is that it allows you to migrate from legacy GPOs to MDM CSPs as well. This way, you can use a Mobile Device Manager Plus solution to completely configure your Windows 10 laptops in the organization. So once you click on Save, you can go ahead and publish this profile. Publishing means that you're completely okay with this particular configuration and it is ready to be distributed to your devices. But before I publish it, let me take you through a few security hardening restrictions as well. So I'm just going to navigate to the Restrictions tab, and after passcode, the easiest way to ensure corporate data security is by encrypting the data on it. So you can enforce device encryption using Mobile Device Manager Plus as well. Also, you can prevent the devices from connecting to external storage disks as well. This way, the corporate data cannot be transferred from your authorized devices to any other unauthorized devices. You can also restrict the devices from being connected to a camera and the screen capture option as well. Another important restriction that needs to be configured on devices is available under the Applications section, which is install non-store apps. Non-store applications are the major reasons for the spread of malware in any corporate network. So you can deny the users from installing any unauthorized non-store application. Once this is done, you can click on Save and publish this profile. Once the profile has been published, it will be ready for distribution. So let me show you how you can distribute this profile to your devices. So to do that, navigate to the Groups and Devices section and click on the Devices tab. We always recommend our users to distribute a profile to a test device or a test group before deploying it to your production environment. So let me first filter out one of my Windows test device. So to do that, I will have to click on the filter option and under device types, select laptops. After that, under platforms, I will have to select Windows. Once I do that, here I will have a list of all the Windows 10 laptops that are currently under management in my organization. So now this is my test device available right here. I need to click on it and under Actions, associate my profile. So as you can see here, I have a list of all the Windows profiles that can be distributed to this particular device. I'm just going to select that and distribute this profile to my device. Once this is done, all the required configurations will get associated to my devices and you can check how it is functioning on them. Once you are satisfied with the functioning, you can navigate to the Groups tab and follow the similar method for distributing it to your production environment. So you can select all of your users and under Actions, associate the profile. Here you will have a list of all the profiles that are currently created on your Mobile Device Manager Plus server. So here you can select Windows and you will have a list of all the Windows profiles available. So I'm just going to select the profile and click on select. This will distribute all the profiles to my devices. Now, there was one interesting feature that I am yet to cover, which is locking down your devices to a specific application. So to do that, let me just modify the profile that I had just created. So I'm just going to click on Modify Profile from under Actions and click on Continue. So as you can see here, we have the kiosk option available that allows you to lock down devices either to a single application or a set of specific application. So in this case, you can choose single app and specify the application that you want to associate, or you can select the multi-app option right here. So as you can see here, you will have to specify the name of the applications that you want to lock into the kiosk mode. One benefit of doing that is you can automatically install these apps if they are not already present on the devices once the kiosk profile has been associated. Also, you can configure desktop applications as well that can be logged onto your device in kiosk mode. Once that is done, you can click on Save. Let me show you how the device would look once it has been configured into kiosk mode. So as you can see here, this is a Surface Pro device that I have put into kiosk mode. So as you can see here, these are the applications that I had selected to run on my device. So here I have the MEMDM app also listed. The major benefit of locking down devices into kiosk mode is that it restricts access to the settings application and any other application that was previously distributed on these devices. You can also restrict access to certain functionalities of these devices as well. So this completes the configuration options available for Windows devices. Now let us see what are the configurations options available for Mac machines. So just like your Windows laptops, we have Wi-Fi VPN and per app VPN configurations for Mac devices as well. We also have a few security hardening restrictions for securing your corporate data. Mobile Device Manager Plus also supports a few Mac-specific proactive policies that ensure corporate data security. So let me start off with the basic settings first. So I'm just going to navigate back onto my console. Under Device Management tab, click on the Profiles option. From here, I will have to create a new Mac policy. So to do that, click on the Create Profile option and select Mac OS. Once you do that, you can provide a name for this profile, and as you can see here, here are the list of all the profiles that are supported for Mac devices. So as you can see here, we have the Wi-Fi, VPN, and per app VPN. Since the configuration steps remain the same for all of these, I will not be covering this in detail again. Instead, let me first show you the restrictions that are available for security hardening. So as you can see here, you can restrict the camera and screenshot and screen recording options for your Mac devices. The other security configurations are available in the security tab here. So here you can restrict the users from using any biometric method such as Touch ID or Face ID to unlock these devices. Next, you can also prevent users from auto-filling their password in Safari and other applications. This is because in case these devices are being handed over to contract employees, you do not want the users from having their passwords automatically pre-filled. The other important configuration is sharing and requesting password from devices in proximity. Apple had actually released these features to improve the usability of the devices. But in a corporate setup, this becomes an issue when the users can share or request their corporate passwords from unauthorized devices as well. Another interesting Mac-specific feature is Gatekeeper, where you can where it specifies the applications that can run on your devices. So as you can see here, you can configure the options between user specified sources, the App Store or App Store identified developers. So it is always recommended to select the App Store option, which way the user will not be able to install any non-store applications onto the devices. But in case these devices are also being used for testing purposes, in that case, you can also allow the users to override your gatekeeper settings. This way, even if they're installing a non-store application, they can override the configured settings and install a test application. Once this is done, you can click on Save and publish the profile. You can go ahead and distribute this profile the same way as we had done the Windows profile. Now, when it comes to corporate data security, there are two main questions that every admin has to answer. What will you do if someone breaks into your Mac machine and gets hold of the corporate data present in it? So this is a situation that no IT admin wants to face. So let me show you how Mobile Device Manager Plus can ensure corporate data security in such a case. Mobile Device Manager Plus also allows you to configure a file vault encryption, using which you can encrypt all the data that is present on your devices. So here you can encrypt the data using either a personal recovery key, institutional recovery key, or personal and institutional recovery key. The personal and institutional recovery key is the option that we recommend. So once you encrypt a device, what happens is that all the data that is stored on this device gets scrambled and ensured that it makes no sense to an unauthorized users. But when the authorized user enters his password, all of the data gets decrypted and comes back into the normal format for access. So once you select the personal and institutional recovery key, you will have two other options that can be configured. One is whether you want the recovery key to be displayed to your users. So you can select that as yes in case you want that to happen. Second is that you will have to upload the institutional recovery key, which is nothing but a certificate that needs to be added on your devices. In case you want the detailed steps for creating this institutional recovery key, you can access this link right here. So just click on add and add the certificate that is required for configuring your file vault encryption. One question that you might have in mind is File Vault is already available on all of my Mac devices. So why is it necessary to configure it using an MDM solution? So Mobile Device Manager Plus provides two benefits over manually configuring your file vault encryption. First is it allows you to escrow the recovery key as and when required. If you configure file vault manually on your devices, the users will have to remember the personal recovery key that needs to be used to decrypt the data in case they forget their passwords. Also, the institutional recovery key option is available only for MDM solutions, which means you cannot use this option for encrypting the devices manually using file vault. Now, this will ensure that even if the data is fallen into unauthorized users' hands that it cannot be accessed. But how can you prevent the devices from going into the hands of the unauthorized users in the first place? So for that, what you can do is you can configure a firmware password. This firmware password will be prompted when this device is being rebooted using any internal or external storage devices apart from the default startup disk. So all you need to do is enter the password and confirm it to configure the firmware password. So now that we have seen all the configuration steps that are available for Mac and Windows 10 devices, it is time to move on to the next segment, which is managing apps and content. So let us start off with managing your applications using Apple Business Manager for your Mac devices. So here as well, let me take you through the workflow first. So as you can see here, the first step is to integrate your Apple Business Manager portal with the MDM server, after which you will have to purchase or approve the required applications from the ABM portal. Once this is done, you can go ahead and distribute the applications to the devices, and then they get installed silently because of the Apple Business Manager integration process. Now, the integration process and the app purchase process remains the same in the case of iOS devices and Mac devices. So since I have already covered this in the previous session and due to time constraints, I will not be able to cover the integration and app approval process. But in case you have any questions or you would like to understand this particular segment in greater detail, please let us know in chat. We will request our support technicians for a personalized demo at your convenient time. Now, let me show you the distribution process for your Mac devices. So you need to navigate back onto your console, and under the Device Management tab, click on the App Repository option. So currently I have a few Mac specific applications added to my app repository using Apple Business Manager. So let me go ahead, filter it and show you. So I'm just going to click on the filter option and click on Apple Store app right here. After which, under app source, I will have to select Apple Business Manager. So here, this will list out all the Apple applications that I have purchased from the Apple Business Manager portal. And under the support devices type, you will be able to see the applications that are specific for Mac devices. In case you do not have the supported devices column available in your instance, all you need to do is click on the column chooser option right here and enable the supported devices option, after which you will be able to see this setting right here. Once you have seen the required application, you can go ahead and distribute it to your devices by clicking on the Groups and Devices tab right here and navigating to the Devices section. So here as well, I will first filter out the device to which I want to distribute this application. So I'm just going to, under the filter option, under device type, select laptops. And under the platform, I will select as Apple. So this will list out all of my Mac devices. So I can select the device to which I want to distribute the application. So under Action, I will click on Distribute Apps. So as you can see here, you can filter out the app type and the license type. So Amazon Kindle was the application that I wanted to distribute on my devices. So I've selected that. And here under the installation type, you need to select silent installation. Only if you enable this option will the application be installed on the devices without any user intervention. So once that is done, you can click on Select to distribute this application to your devices. So this completes the installation process in the case of Mac devices. Now let us see how you can manage modern Windows applications using Mobile Device Manager Plus. Modern Windows applications are the ones that are available as tile symbols on your start screen. So Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to manage both modern Windows Store apps as well as modern Windows Enterprise applications. So let me start off with the silent installation of modern Windows Store apps. For this, you will have to integrate your Windows Business Store, which has one prerequisite, which is having an Azure Administrator account. Once this prerequisite is met, you can go ahead and integrate with the Windows Business Store for distributing the devices. So let us see how you can do that. So you will have to navigate onto your console, and under the device management option, click on App Repository. Here you will have to go to the Windows Business Store tab right here. Once you do that, you can agree to the terms and conditions listed and click on Login Now. This will redirect you to the Windows Business Store, where you will have to sign in using the account that you want to integrate with your Mobile Device Manager Plus console. So once you enter the details, you will have to accept the permissions requested by the Manage Engine MDM app for silently installing applications. Once you click on Accept, the integration process will be completed. Now, you also need to activate the MEMDM app on the Business Store. This step is important to inform the Business Store that MEMDM app will be responsible for distributing apps silently onto the devices. So once you click on Next, the app will get automatically verified, after which any application that was previously added to your account will automatically start syncing with the MDM server. Once the sync process is completed, as you can see here, 5 apps have been synced successfully. They will get listed into your app repository. Now, in case you want to purchase any new applications, what you need to do is you need to click on the Purchase Apps from Store option right here. Once you do that, you will be redirected to the Microsoft Store for Business, where you will have to click on Shop for My Group option. Once you do that, you can search for the application that you want to purchase or add from your Windows Business Store. Once you do that, I found my app that I wanted. I'm going to select that. Here, I will have to click on Get the App. Once this is done, the app gets added to my inventory, and this will get added the next time MDM syncs with the Windows Business Store, which happens once every day. In case you want to sync it immediately, all you need to do is go ahead and initiate a manual sync from the server. Once this is done, you can go ahead and distribute this application to your devices. Now it's time to take a look at the silent installation of Windows Enterprise applications. So in case your organization makes use of only enterprise applications, you do not need to integrate with the Windows Business Store. Mobile Device Manager Plus has sufficient capabilities to manage your enterprise applications. So let me show you how you can manage these applications using Mobile Device Manager Plus. So I'm going to navigate back into my console and click on the App Repository tab. Here, under the Add Apps option, I will select Windows Enterprise Applications. So now I need to upload my app file that I want added. So as you can see here, Mobile Device Manager Plus supports the following app file types like Apex, Apex Bundle, MSIX, and XAP. So to upload a file, click on Upload File option and upload the Apex file that you have. So in my case, I'm just uploading this right here. So Mobile Device Manager Plus will fetch all of the information that is available in this app file and pre-fill the required information. So as you can see here, the category, supported device type, and the app version gets automatically pre-filled. Here I can go ahead and add a new icon for this application as well. The one step that we need to perform here is we need to add the bundle identifier. In case you have any questions about how to create a bundle identifier, you can read the link given here. Now, once you have filled in the bundle identifier, there is another interesting feature, which is the dependent files. So most Windows applications require a set of dependent files for functioning properly on your devices. So Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to upload these dependent files onto your MDM server so that for smooth installation and application. So I'm just going to click on Browse and upload my dependency file. So this is the dependency file that my app developer had provided me. Now Mobile Device Manager Plus will get all the information that is available in this particular dependency file and check if all the required files are available. So as you can see here, this particular dependency file does not contain all the required information for the functioning of this application. So what I can do is I can re-upload a new dependency file after discussing with my app developer. So this is the final dependency file that the app developer has provided me. So once this is uploaded, you will be able to see that all of my dependent files have been uploaded, and I can go ahead and save this particular application. I can also see a list of configurations that are supported for this application and pre-configure it while distributing it to my devices. So once this is done, you can go ahead and distribute it to your devices as we had distributed your other applications. So this brings us to the next segment, which is securely distributing corporate data. We all know how important it is for accessing corporate data using mobile devices, and the simplicity of it is the main reason why organizations have preferred mobility. So let me show you how you can securely distribute corporate content to your devices using Mobile Device Manager Plus. So for that, I need to navigate to the content management section. And here I will add any new document or media file that I want to distribute. So I'm just going to click on add here and upload the file that I want to distribute to my devices. So this is a PDF file that I want to distribute. So I'm just going to upload it right here. Here I can add a description about this particular document and also information about the tags. So I will explain the benefit of tags in a bit. So I have selected compliance as the tag that is required. So as you can see here, the document has been successfully uploaded and I can click on done. Once this is done, I can go ahead and distribute it to my devices. So to do that, I can click on share and select a single device to which I want to distribute it first for testing purposes. So as you can see here, you can distribute these documents to Apple, Android, and Windows devices. So let me distribute it to this particular test device right here. Once I click on select, the app will get distributed to that particular device. So let me show you what happens on the device end. So as you can see here, this is my content catalog that is available on the MEMDM app that is installed on my devices. So here you will have a list of all the available documents and the downloaded documents on your device. You can navigate to the downloaded tab as well to see a list of all of these documents. Now, in case you want to access a document, you will have to click on the name of that particular document. So for that, I'm just going to select the detail tender option. So as you can see here, I have the document details available. The major benefit of using the Manage Engine MDM app for accessing these devices is that you will not be able to copy or paste this document to any other application or share it with any other device. This particular document has been stored only in the Manage Engine MDM application. So once you have viewed the required application, it will be moved to your recents option available right here. Now, the importance of categories is related to the tags option that we had filled. So based on the tag that we enter for the document while uploading it will be displayed in the categories section. So as you can see here, my tender document has been marked as a tender category, which was a tag that I had selected while distributing this particular document to my devices. Now I can go ahead and update this document as well on my devices. So to do that, all I need to do is upload a new version of the document. If that is already available, you can choose to update it by clicking on modify right here. So once you do that, you need to upload the new file and click on modify. This will automatically update the document even on your distributed devices. In case you want to delete a document, just select it and delete. This will delete the document from all the devices as well. So now the document has been deleted from my devices as well. So this is how Mobile Device Manager Plus simplifies the distribution of content on your devices. Now it's time to move to the last segment of today's session, which is scenarios and solutions. My first scenario is we use Active Directory in our organization to manage our users. Is it possible to remotely add the Mac devices into our organization's AD? I have seen a lot of organizations manually adding their Mac devices into their Active Directory. But with Mobile Device Manager Plus, you can ensure that once the device has been enrolled into Mobile Device Manager Plus, it automatically gets added to your organization's Active Directory. So let me show you how you can configure this setting. This is available as a Mac profile. So to do that, click on the lightning button and click on the Mac profile. This will immediately create a Mac profile for you. So here you will have to navigate to the setting AD asset binding. So here you will first have to add an Active Directory domain. So once you add a domain, you will have a list of options available for adding your Active Directory services. Scenario 2. Can we share contacts and calendar events to employees' iOS devices? This is another requirement that I have seen a lot of organizations face. So the main reason is they want the most updated corporate contacts and calendar events to be available on the employees' devices at all times. So let me show you how you can do that by creating an iOS profile. So I'm just going to navigate to iOS and click on continue. So as you can see here, we have two separate settings called the contact sync and the calendar sync. The contact sync option uses CardDAV account settings to sync all of your contacts to your devices. So all you need to do is enter the account host name to configure this setting. Similarly, your calendar sync makes use of the CalDAV account settings available for your iOS devices. So all you need to do here as well is enter your account host name and the port details to complete the configuration process. My third scenario is how can we secure all the network communications on managed devices? So this is extremely important, especially with all of your users working remotely. If the organization wants to monitor all the corporate traffic from a single location, you can configure a global HTTP proxy. Once this has been configured, all of your corporate network connections will get routed through this. So in case you select the manual configuration option, you will have to enter the server and the port details to configure it. If you select automatic, all you need to do is enter the server URL right here. One point to keep in mind while configuring your global HTTP proxy is that you need to ensure that the MDM servers can also connect to the devices through it. Otherwise, the devices will get unmanaged. My scenario 4 is, does MDM on-premises offer options to prevent data loss due to server downtime? For organizations that prefer using an on-premises solution, they need to ensure that they are ready for downtime either during scheduled maintenance or unforeseen circumstances. But if your organization does not want downtime, you can configure a failover server, which acts as a redundant or secondary server that will automatically take control once the primary server goes down. In case you're using the cloud version of Mobile Device Manager Plus, we have multiple secondary servers configured to prevent any downtime. So in case you want to manually configure your failover server, you will navigate to the admin tab and click on the failover server option. So here you will first have to purchase failover server licenses. We provide a failover server license as a trial for 30 days as well. You then have to configure a remote SQL database, static IP address, and mail server settings as prerequisites to configure your failover server. Scenario 5. Can we decide the data that is fetched and displayed by MDM for management? Can the same be informed to our user? This is extremely important if your organization has a BYOD deployment policy. So in case you have managing users' personal devices, it is essential to inform the users of the data that is being fetched from their devices. So for that, we will have to navigate to the device privacy settings, where you will have a list of all the details that are required for management that are currently being collected by MDM. So Mobile Device Manager Plus requires the IMEI and the serial number information for managing these devices. And hence this cannot be configured. The rest of it, you can also select it to not be collected from the devices. For example, the phone number, user installed application, and the location data is generally considered as PII information. And that is why you can choose to not collect this information as well. Once this is done, you can choose whether you want these policies to be applied either to you want this policy to be displayed to your users or not. In case you choose to display it to the users, they can view it from the MEMDM app itself. Also, whether you want this to be applied to all of your devices or only your BYOD devices. So as you can see here, I have only selected my employee-owned devices for this particular policy. Once you click on save, this policy will get saved and applied on your devices. My next scenario is, what are the options available to secure the MDM on-premises server from unauthorized access? Till now, we have been discussing about how important it is to secure corporate data on your mobile devices, but there is a lot of information also available on your MDM server, which needs to be secured. For that, what you can do is you can configure two-factor authentication and a stringent passcode policy. So you need to navigate to the user administration tab. Another recommendation from our end is, when you download Mobile Device Manager Plus on-premises version, you will have a default admin already created on these devices. We recommend you to delete this default admin account and create a new admin account which enables two-factor authentication and a stringent password. So to configure two-factor authentication, navigate to the Secure Authentication tab and enable two-factor authentication. You can choose the mode of authentication as well. Here you can configure a password policy that will be mandated on all the users that are created. Scenario 7. How do I secure PII when it is being downloaded or exported as reports? So this is important because you do not want any PII to be available on your employees' devices or inboxes. So for that, what you can do is you will have to navigate to the export settings option available under security settings right here. So navigate to export settings and configure it. So Mobile Device Manager Plus allows you to either mask the PII or hide the PII. But sometimes this PII is essential for troubleshooting purposes. So in that case, you can also leave it to the technician, based on which they can choose whether they want to mask the PII or hide it as well. The similar settings are also available for scheduled reports. This brings me to the end of the training session. In case you found this to be informative, please rate us on a scale of 1 to 5, where 5 is the best, on the survey that you will receive at the end of this session. Please spread a word about these trainings on your social media platforms. Thank you and have a nice day.